Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and let's see if I can read more and pick up my phone less. So this past week, I kind of wanted a really easy vlog to do because I feel like the last few vlogs I've been doing were like very theme focused, very heavy focused, and I just wanted to like read whatever, finish whatever. So I got the idea that every time I wanted to pick up my phone or like rot in bed essentially, I would try to make a conscious effort to not pick up my phone and pick up a book instead. So what we're going with is the week before this vlog was filmed, I picked up my phone 80 times. So what we're going to try and see is if I can pick up my phone less than 80 times. I also decided that in this vlog, I was going to finish the Wheel of Time series. So, I mean, the video before this kind of implies that this was succeeded this week, but I attempted to finish A Memory of Light. I also read How to Piss Off Men by Kyle Prue just to like make me laugh a little bit. And then I wanted to make a conscious effort to pick up a classic and a nonfiction this week just because I figured the idea was to like get off my phone and not necessarily like rot. So I also began Capital by Karl Marx and The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir. So that is what I did this past week, and I will take you back to Kelsey at the end and we'll see how I did. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the first day of this vlog. So there's two goals to this. One is that I want to be more intentional this week with reading non-fiction books. And secondly is because I want to get more used to like describing my day. I figured why not do a week in my life while I also work and do a bunch of things. And the books that I'm reading are not like the main part of the vlog. The main part of the vlog is really like my life and blah, blah, blah. I also want to not use my screen a lot. I do watch a lot of YouTube videos, particularly like reading sprints from other creators. A lot of my screen time is that, but I can't deny that a lot of my screen time is definitely just doom scrolling, rotting on social media. I kind of want to change that this week. I just want to see if I intentionally think about not going on my phone and just reading or just using it to read. How much reading can I get done? Do I feel like it's any different from a week where I'm not intentionally thinking about it, right? So that's the idea for this vlog. Needless to say, right now it is 9:53 a.m. So I've had my matcha for the morning. We don't have coffee in this house. So one of the things I have to do after my morning meetings is go buy coffee. And I think that that's a good start to like being more intentional with B-roll as well. It's something that I think I struggle with because I just forget to film. And I know that B-roll is not that important to everybody, but I think it's something that I notice when it's missing in a vlog. And I notice that when I'm editing, I like having some spaces in between like my talking portions. So it is definitely something I want to work on. I think I'm getting better and better. I'm definitely better than the beginning of my vlog, but it's definitely something that I want to get better at. And I think it gives like a nice glimpse into someone's life without giving too much detail into someone's life. So right now it's 9:54 a.m. I had my matcha. We don't have coffee in the house. I have to go do that later. I am currently working. I have meetings starting at 10 this morning, which is really great for a Monday. I like that I don't have really early morning meetings on Mondays. Partner and my baby have been gone for like an hour now. When I work from home, my partner drives our baby to daycare and then he goes to work. So right now I am still in my pajamas, as you can see. So I think I'm going to change into some more comfortable clothing. Outside, it doesn't look too bad from the window, but it's supposed to be like raining today and like really gross. We're gonna see how that is. But I think this week is like also the worst week to do this vlog because I would have loved to go outside and walk. And I think it's like raining every day, which is. But other than that, I think one of my main goals today is to maybe get through like an hour or 2 hours of this audiobook. I have so little left of the last book in the Wheel of Time. If you've been following my channel, you know what a feat this is. I'm currently in a 200-page chapter, 9-hour chapter on audio. Take that in.
Take a minute. Take it in.
Because it was a lot for me to process. When the audiobook showed 9 hours, I said, what? So majority of what I want to read today is from this 200-page chapter. Granted, it is entitled The Last Battle. It's the last thing that's going on in the series. So could it have been divided better? Probably, but whatever. It's a Wheel of Time book. By the time you see this vlog though, I will have already finished the Wheel of Time series and I'm going to be filming my, not a reaction video, but like my thoughts on the Wheel of Time. I think it's going to be just a short video just to like solidify my feelings on the Wheel of Time series, justifying an unhaul, making a video and putting 5 years of reading this series for good measure, you know? And then later, I think I'm going to read something like funny. I have a book on my TBR, I forgot what it's called, but I just want to read something like light, or maybe I'll save that for when I finish the Wheel of Time series and maybe I could start something else. Anyways, I'll update you. For right now, I have to change. I have my meetings, and then we'll reconvene. All right, so in an effort to be more transparent, let's talk about things. This is not a new baby. This is my current baby that is 15 months old when he was born. Not an announcement, trust me. Let's talk about the coffee that I got. So I always like to go support local businesses, and there is a coffee roaster. Love supporting them. So I got Brazil Santos. We got Espresso Cremoso. This is for my partner at his shop. He has an espresso machine, and that's the preferred espresso of the clientele and like the other workers. And then I also got Costa Rica. This is my favorite coffee. So we got the Brazil to be a little bit wild. I'm gonna put the Cremoso back in a bag for him so he can bring it tomorrow. Then I also unfortunately had to buy some things from Amazon. I'm really trying to resist buying like useless things. There's no excuse. A lot of the time I use it because I'm lazy, but I'm really trying to break the cycle with Amazon. So slowly, I'm like really trying to remember to buy specific things when I go to the grocery store so that I can support Amazon less and less. But I have to say, like, my ADHD impulsivity, sometimes I forget to buy things, or I don't remember, I don't write it down, and then we're stuck. And honestly, it's like really stupid things. So we have my son's diaper cream. I also need some wipes to clean him like after he eats and stuff. And the Honest wipes that I was using, I find them to be like super expensive when they're not in stock, and I want to support like a Canadian local brand. And I think Attitude, or I thought Attitude was a Canadian slash Montreal specific brand. They make a lot of like nice baby stuff, like their brand Baby Leaves. So I'm always keen to like try new wipes, and hopefully these work just as well as the Honest wipes. And I can buy these because they're a lot cheaper. And also, just speaking of my move towards buying less from Amazon, because Attitude have an office here in Montreal, I could buy directly from their website, from their manufacturer, and not have to use Amazon, which Honest company I believe was an American brand. So I also want to distance myself from American brands as well. I am now going to make myself some lunch. I'm probably going to have a chicken cutlet salad. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to continue listening to the final book in the Wheel of Time series. I don't think I'm going to finish that today because I would still like to start the other book that I want to begin for this week, because I want to be more intentional this week and read like nonfiction. But we'll see. I will fill you in.
The next day.
Hello, so you might be wondering, does that look like the sun is setting in the background? And you would be correct because it is currently 4:51. I had a crazy busy day with work. I'm also feeling a little under the weather. My brain has not been functioning at 100% today. Have I done any reading? Great question. No. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to finish working because I do have something that I have to just complete. So I've been really locked in today with that. I went to the gym, could have filmed that for you, chose not to. I think my fit is like pretty cute, and I did braids. I don't know. I'm feeling myself a little. It was a leg day, so your girl's in pain. I'm definitely in pain. I'm going to finish that. I'm going to continue listening. I did listen to quite a bit of YouTube videos today. I didn't spend that much. Actually, that's a lie. I just spent a little bit of time on my phone. I'm going to a spin class tomorrow in like a different part of the Montreal surrounding area, and I don't know the studio. And so I've been like investigating a little bit. And then obviously I get distracted because I'm already on Instagram. So I'm really trying to lock in, listen to YouTube videos, which I listen to quite a bit today. They're easy to like have in the background because I don't necessarily have to pay attention to a plot. And at the same time, I'm supporting like other creators in the community. So I like doing that. I think tonight what I'm going to do is probably listen to that funny book that I want, which is like 10 Ways to Piss Off Men, is by Kyle Prue, who got famous on TikTok for doing that, for doing his like monotone voice and talking about how to piss off men. And I love supporting an ally. So I think I'm going to listen to that just for fun, distract myself, and then maybe either try to finish The Wheel of Time tonight. Is that crazy? Or get into The Capital, which is Karl Marx's book on political economics that I started yesterday, but I only read the introduction. But anyways, that is the plan. My partner should be coming home soon with our son. The nighttime routine is going to begin. Hello, excuse the shaky stabilization and my whispering. First of all, I already have a sore throat. Second of all, my son is sleeping and I don't really want to wake him up just to talk to you about a small update. But since supper, I washed the dishes and put my son to bed. While doing all of that, I was listening to, I keep forgetting to keep this book with me, but the rest of the last book in the Wheel of Time series, I finished the 200-page, 9-hour chapter that I was dreading. But I will say that I was more scared of it than it actually ended up being. I feel like it flowed really well. It made a lot of sense. And now at this point, I have like an hour and 15 minutes left in the audiobook at the speed at which I listen to it. I have a feeling I'm going to finish it tomorrow, which bodes well for Thursday because I want to record that video and edit it. And then around like 10:20, I got a chapter into Capital by Karl Marx. I would read more, I think, but right now we're learning about like commodities and the division of labor per the cost of the individual item that is being put on the market. And while I think that is a very valuable and interesting conversation, it's not one that I want to be having at 11 o'clock at night, So I think I'm going to continue this when I'm more awake, hopefully in the daytime. So for right now, I think what I'm going to do is I just want to have a laugh. I just want to have a gag. And I think this book could at least make me chuckle. I don't think I'm going to be reading this. I don't think it's going to be anything of value to me. I like to piss off men daily on my own, but I think I just need something easy to continue reading because I don't want to brain rot before I go to bed. So maybe this is a more like analog friendly way of brain rotting without like resorting to, let's say, a video that Kyle Prue would have created. We'll see how it goes. I'm listening to some sprints. I'm just going to read this. And maybe when I'm done, I might start getting ready for bed. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Hello. So I have been terrible at vlogging these past few days just because I feel like I've been a lot more busy than I expected to be. And I also feel really, really sick. And so like my will to work, live, non-existent. So my will to vlog is obviously like in the back burner. If you hear my son screaming and crying, it's because I'm in another room without him and he doesn't really like it. But let's talk about my accomplishments these past few days. I'll go quickly just because he's like really freaking out. But I finished The Wheel of Time, guys. The day has finally come where I finished this fucking series. I ended up actually really enjoying the finale a lot more than I wanted to. I still have problems with it and I still have the same problems with this book as I did like starting around the middle point of the series, but it was really exciting and it was really well written, obviously with Brandon Sanderson, and I feel satisfied by the conclusion, which is not something I was expecting for the series. So I'm going to be filming a video probably tomorrow that'll go out the week before this one goes out, talking about my overall thoughts on the Wheel of Time series. And I will definitely at the end of that video be unhauling the entire series. I think I'll have enough books after this unhaul to take them to a used bookstore, put them back out in the community, and I'm sure someone in the community will be extremely happy to get the entire series except for book one, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. But I will say that that was my main goal these past 2 days, was really finishing the series. I just actually wanted to be done with it, and so I wasn't really focusing on vlogging on this and that. My like spare time was really on finishing this. But last night I also read How to Piss Off Men by Kyle Prue. This is like what it appears to be, which is just like little jokes here and there about sentences or questions we can ask men to ponder. It made me laugh. It was funny. I chuckled. I listened to the interview that he had with his mom at the end of the audiobook for this, and I only picked up the audiobook because I had heard that he had this essay with his mom, so I wanted to listen to it. It was very, very thoughtful. You see why he is a very like introspective and self-reflective man because of his mother and the like values that she instilled in him. And she's also a very funny and kind woman, it seems. I really, really liked that interview. It was really interesting to get into. But that means that in the past 2 days, I have completed 2 books. I haven't read Capital by Karl Marx since I updated you last night, but I think for my next audiobook, I'm going to get into another non-fiction thought-provoking book like Capital, because that is the goal for this week, right? Is to really use our brains. I would really like to get into this one tonight if I can, and I think for right now maybe I'll listen to this, and then when my son goes to sleep I'll probably focus more on Capital because I'm not listening to anything. So yeah, so that's the gist of what I'm going to do tonight. Tomorrow I do have a doctor's appointment downtown, but I will likely want to go to like cafes and whatever. So I could probably read a couple of things at specific cafes. I know I'm definitely getting a coffee in the morning before my doctor's appointment, but after that I can go somewhere else, maybe go somewhere for lunch, have a solo date with myself, or maybe see one of my friends. The world is my oyster. This lighting makes me look spectacular. Ignore my messy house, please. Please do me a favor. Today, as you saw, I have been really busy all day. It's 2:45. I had my doctor's appointment this morning, so all I did while I was there was read The Capital by Karl Marx. She's different. She's educated. She's reading Karl Marx at the hospital before her appointment. We pay taxes for what? Free healthcare. That's right. So a bitch is reading about communism and the benefits of society when we're not living to commodifications. Anyways, I had, as you can see, a very introspective thoughts while I was reading that, because I think a lot of society right now, that the tension between like just different ways of thought, of political thought, is coming to like a head because of this frustration with capitalism and the way that our society is set up to benefit billionaires. Not to preach my own political beliefs, but that is really what we're seeing right now and why we're having what feels like such extreme tensions and civil unrest. I had that thought process while I was there, but I wanted to talk about how with Capital, I'm reading it with my eyeballs. I'm raw dogging it. There's no audiobook, and I'm feeling like a student again. I'm really, really liking it because it's taking me a lot longer to read, and I don't feel like I'm getting more benefit from it, because I can honestly say, like last night reading about commodities and how we're getting from a product and value of labor to money, and the equations that Karl Marx was blabbering on about for 50 pages was not fun. But I am enjoying it because I feel like I'm more settled into myself. Like I'm taking the time to highlight, to jot things down, to really think about the things I'm reading. So I'm really liking the raw dogging that I've been doing with Capital by Karl Marx. And then after that, as you saw, I went to go get lunch. I went to go get katsu curry. Very good. I've never had this restaurant before, but I have to say I was very, very pleased with my meal. And then I had to take public transport home because, again, our taxes pay for what? Community services. So I took the public transport back home. Did it take me 40 minutes? Yes, but you know what? It is what it is. And then after that, I spent another 40 minutes recording my Wheel of Time discussion video that's going to go before this, hopefully. I really hope I can edit it tonight, which will be my main focus over like reading my nonfiction books. I'm very happy with the discussion that I had. I worked really hard on this video just in script writing wise. If you can't tell, I don't really script my videos. You get my pure unedited thoughts, and me editing gets frustrated because I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? But in the moment, I'm having fun. And I'm just a girl having fun. So I'm happy with that video, and I hope that I like the way that it turns out, and I hope that people are nice to me and they don't just attack me. We'll see. I haven't even posted it yet. I think I'm worrying for no reason. But right now I'm going to make a coffee. I am gonna see if I feel like going to the gym. I'm so tired, but I do want to go to the gym. So I might just do that. And hopefully like a coffee, these beans will rejuvenate me. So we haven't talked in quite a bit of time. There's multiple reasons. First of all, I am so sick. I got a sinus infection in the later half of last week. I think you could tell like in the beginning that I was slowly starting to feel sick, and then the phlegm got to me. I'm feeling so puffy under my eyes. It is incredible. I have so much pain in my sinuses right here. It's like hurting to chew in my mouth. That's how much pressure is building here. So there was quite a bit going on in the latter half of the week. And that unfortunately also made me not really want to focus on finishing or completing rather the two books that I think were not the purpose essentially of this vlog, but definitely like what I wanted to focus on. But I think like when your brain is just malfunctioning, why are you going to focus on like really difficult things? But I will say I've been enjoying my experience so far focusing on these things. So I'm really happy that I made the conscious effort to do so. These are obviously like thick boys. They're going to take me into the rest of the month to finish, especially if I'm going to read them slowly as the weeks go on. But like I said, I've been really enjoying my experience with Capital by Karl Marx. I am annotating it as much as I am trying to understand. There's a lot of like math that Karl Marx is using to attempt to explain the like discrepancies between what a capitalist owner is using to vilify and justify overworking or underpaying his employees, and how the surplus of the cost of a product versus the labor that goes into it versus like a working day has been a very interesting discussion. What I find really sad is that there are only rules in place so that, you know, capitalist owners, billionaires don't take advantage of us. Because if there wasn't laws in place, they would. And I think that it's just incredible to me. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Karl Marx's like overall thesis develops as we move forward into the book. I am now on page 182 and the book is like 400 something pages. So I'm almost like halfway through it. And I'm again very interested to see how this thesis comes full circle. Like, what is Karl Marx trying to say here? Because obviously we understand that working more for less equals bad, but how is Karl Marx like attempting to work that into his thesis, explain the like discrepancies and injustices that we are feeling as a proletariat class versus the bourgeoisie class, and how then can we move forward in this sort of like economic and political state? Like, what are the future goals, or what is Karl Marx trying to say with this book essentially? So I'm going to continue this, I think, today for a little bit, just because even though it's been a very hard and difficult book to read, especially because I'm raw drawing it with my eyes, so I'm really having to think. It's been a very interesting and engaging experience, even though I have to skim some of the mathematics that are going on in here. But I've been really enjoying it, so I'm very happy that I picked it up regardless. And then I've also been reading The Second Sex. So this one I've been listening to on audio, but same thing, I am annotating it because obviously as a woman in society, this is something that intrigues me, gender dynamics. What's really crazy to me is that I am only in like the second part of the book, so we're really going through the history of like the way women are treated in society. Simone de Beauvoir wrote this book in 1949. And the conclusions that she's making based on the amount of history she had until 1949 is exactly the exact same arguments that we are currently having in 2026. So 80 years later, it's literally like Simone de Beauvoir published this today. She could have published this today, and I would not know any better. And that is truly depressing. Reading this book, nothing in here has surprised me in any way. I'm not shocked by the discoveries that Simone de Beauvoir was stating in this book. I'm not shocked by the historical context that she's paving in this book. And I'm not shocked by the fact that the jokes that, you know, Aristotle, Socrates, what they were making in ancient Greek history are the same jokes that they make today. And if this book is showing me anything, it's that men are not clever. So now I can get to the final conclusions of this vlog. Did I pick up my phone less when I was really trying to make a conscious effort to do so? No. No, I didn't. I picked up my phone the exact amount of times. 80. I was being conscious. I was like, I would pick up my phone and I would be like, no, put it back down. Let's read. And yet, even though I was making this conscious effort, I still picked up my phone the same amount of times. So what does this tell you? First of all, it tells me that I at least value reading in my everyday no matter what. So regardless of either trying to make a conscious effort or not, I am devoting the same, or what seems like the same amount of time to reading as I did the week before where I wasn't consciously doing it. And I guess you can sort of say the same about picking up my phone. When I was consciously trying not to pick up my phone, I was still picking it up the same amount of times as when I'm not consciously doing it. So really, do I have a problem? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I probably do, but for the science and statistics of this vlog, we're going to say no. So let's just do a brief summary of what we completed this past week as I was trying not to be on my phone. What I am really proud of is that I finished the Wheel of Time series. I think if I wasn't consciously trying to finish it this week, it would have gone on a bit longer. So I'm really happy that I was able to do so. I was able to write and film and edit that video that I put out last week. I'm really, really proud of it. And I'm happy that I at least completed this book this early in the year. So I gave it a 3.5. It was really, really fun and I was actively engaged with it, but I did have like very similar problems as I did to like other books in the series. So I decided to settle on a 3.5. Then we had How to Piss Off Men by Kyle Prue. I left this unrated just because it's like supposed to be a humorous and funny book. I did actually laugh. You know, a man making me laugh in 2026 is incredible, very talented. A lot of these things were funny, and I do think I might take them into random conversations with men who will not leave me alone. What I did find the most valuable about this book was actually in the audiobook. He has a conversation interview kind of thing with his mother at the end of the audiobook. And I found that to be really, really interesting. And you could definitely tell that her and her husband laid out a solid foundation for him, who allowed for him to be a great ally and a funny dude. So this was really fun to read. And if you like Kyle Prue, I think you'll like it in general. Capital, again, like I said, I am on page 183, still actively enjoying my time with this. And again, interested to see where Karl Marx develops his thesis. And then The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir, I am on page 150 of like 800 pages. So I have a lot more pages to look at how women have just been belittled throughout history from literally ancient Greece, probably the dawning of time, honestly. We just don't have information from them. But I'm really enjoying Simone de Beauvoir's like cadence, and I like the way that the story has been translated by Constance Bord and Sheila Malovani Chevalier. I am enjoying it. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it for the content, but much like with Karl Marx, I'm excited to see the overall like conclusion of this book. So that's it. I hope this vlog wasn't boring. I hope you enjoyed it anyways. Please let me know down below if you've read any of the books I read in this vlog. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Let me know. If you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. Of course, understanding that we are just a bunch of proletariats underneath a bourgeoisie regime, and we use social media to stay connected. So as long as they exist, you can follow me there. And of course, because it is the end of the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Does wonders for my channel, makes me feel really good. And that's it. I never know how to end these things, so I will see you next time. Okay, bye.